Hello, I finished another one of my Netgalley arcs, and this one is called Shadow Girls, and it's by Carol Birch. And it's got a sort of ghostly supernatural edge on it, but it's a slow burn. It comes very, very slowly. We're taken to 1960s Manchester, and we're taken to a school. We've got Sally, who's 15, and this is really Sally's story. It's her coming of age story. She's 15, she's bright, she's got expectations, her family have got expectations, the school have got expectations of her. Her best friend is a girl called Pamela, and Pamela is rebellious. She's not bright like Sally, and she's disliked because she's outspoken. She's the tough girl. And people don't understand why she and Sally are friends, why Sally has chosen Pamela to be a friend. So this is the relationship between the two girls, and they go truanting. They sort of skip gym and disappear into town, and you're never quite sure who's influencing who. Is it Pamela that's influencing Sally, or Sally that's influencing Pamela? Who knows? And they go to parts of the school that are out of bounds, particularly the roof garden. There's I say it's not a roof garden, but there's a greenhouse on the roof where the caretaker grows bits and pieces, and they escape up there at lunch times to eat their packed lunch, which they're not supposed to do because it's out of bounds. We're back in the 1960s, and this is before all the safeguarding and everything that's part and parcel of school days now. So there was a lot of bullying. And the girl they pick on is a girl called Sylvia, who is almost... she's out of place there because Sally describes as having a posh voice and being stuck up, and the aim of the game is to humiliate Sylvia. It's almost public humiliation, because in the 60s, things went on that don't happen in school now. So we've got this sort of scenario, this school life, and one day when Pamela and Sally are up on the roof, no, Pamela's not there. Sorry, I got that wrong. Pamela's not there. Sally sees Sylvia, this girl who is so proper. She sees her across the roof, and she's laughing at her. And it scares Sally so much, she runs downstairs, and Sylvia's there. How could she be down there when she's up there? So that is the first hint of anything that's odd, because it's an old building as well, so you've got all the stories, the legends of the being haunted. My own school, we were supposed to have had a ghost in the second floor called Boris. That was there's always stories of Boris at my school, so all schools in that era had stories of being haunted. So this is the school life, and at the beginning you think that this is just purely going to be a school story. Then a tragedy happens that affects Sally, and then you see a turning point in the story. This tragedy affects Sally, although she doesn't think it has done, but we follow her through the rest of the book as she sort of meanders through life, eventually ending back in her hometown and living in her old school, because her old school has been turned into flats. And once she's in this building again, then she starts experiencing almost supernatural events. Sally becomes a very unreliable narrator, and you're not sure whether what she's seeing is true or not. So the first half of the book is sort of very much school life, and then we move cleverly into this almost supernatural, ghostly environment. And that's it. You're not sure now where Sally is the tragedy that occurred in school life, has that been reawakened? Has it reawakened feelings because she's now in the school again? Although the school is different because it's all flats. Yeah, you at the beginning you think you're just reading a school story, but you are following Sally as she navigates her feelings, her emotions that are still latent from the tragedy that occurred at the school. So it's a spooky read. You don't get that vibe in the beginning, but it builds. It's a slow burn and it builds to this sort of spooky feeling. So that is Shadow Girls by Carol Birch. It comes out in April. I'm pretty sure it's the 14th of April, but I'll put that on the description below, but it's definitely in April when it's being published. So happy reading. Take care. Bye.